Namaste, Shalom, Salam, everybody. This is Gaia, Mother Sofia. Some of the information I'm going to tell you now is only for those who are on the higher levels of the awakening ladder, because there is a ladder and there are steps. So some of you won't understand this, but nonetheless, I'm going to give the information. I am the one who remembers. I am the keeper of the codes. And people who I come across either marry with that code and release what I'm supposed to release and remember, or they're the ones who are trying to stop it happening. So these are the prophetic days. So they tried to stop Christ coming, but he's now here in all his power. And it wasn't a physical coming. It's that we've always been here, but our powers were taken away from us. I've retrieved all of those powers for the ones who are meant to have them back, so that they can do their work properly for humanity, because ultimately we serve humanity. And in my remembering process over the last 6 years, a lot of things have happened. Some of them I've shared with you on here. Some of them have been released during the journeys of ayahuasca. But today, something happened. So there's a particular person who I met because I required teaching of something, of personal training, yoga. And there's been a very strong connection, and through some of the yoga poses, ancient prayer would be downloaded. So I was very set upon doing the Pincha Mayurasana. And when I did finally get up, she would tell me to get into child's pose to rest, but I wouldn't. I'd sit up, and then I'd get this huge rush. And then from my higher self, the ancient prayer would come in, and then I would speak the ancient prayer, which would then release things, not just in myself, but in her. And so I did 3 or 4 months of training with her last year, which released a lot of stuff. She then had a shamanic journey with me, where she saw the same eye tattoo I have on my arm, on hers. She saw triangles all around me, and 3 sons. Go back to today. Now, the last 3 days I've been eating, and I'm a fitness freak. Well, not a freak, I don't like that word. I like to stay healthy, but my body's been wanting, in particular, lamb and sugar. And I've allowed it. I've tried fighting it, but I've allowed it. And the last 2 days, my stomach, my sacral chakra has literally been bursting with so much food that I'm like, oh, should I have eaten so much? But I mean, I even ordered 2 takeaways from Deliveroo, healthy, as I said, lamb and salad or whatever. And I remember looking at all this food on my table, crying, going, wow, this is so much food, so much food. Oh, and I was in tears because of the abundance that I have from seeing this food on the table. And then my stomach, which is where your sacral chakra is, which is the abundance chakra, bursting with, like, there's so much in there. There's so much abundance in there. So this is another thing, just to sidetrack, is that, a lot of people starve themselves. Fasting is absolutely good for you. But on a daily basis, please don't starve yourself. Allow yourself to feel that satisfaction, because that is your sacral chakra being satisfied, the abundance. Anyway. So today we were doing a lot of handstand practice. My arms got super tired because I want to master the handstand. And there's a lot of mind over matter going on here, because sometimes I can get up, sometimes I can't, sometimes I haven't practiced enough in my own time. But today I remember, because I wasn't going up a lot, and I kept not failing. I kept doing a little bit and then not doing it, but I certainly wasn't as good as I was the last time I was with her. But I was meant to hear something from her. I was meant to not do it. So there's a wisdom in not doing something. What was the wisdom? So when we stopped doing the handstand, we went into the wheel. And I did the first one, and it was rubbish. And I said to her, my arms are tired from the handstand. And I kind of was trying to tell her, okay, she's going to say, that's it, Sophia, don't worry, let's just go into Shavasana. But she didn't. We did another one. And I was like, surely this is the last one. And then we did a third one. And in actual fact, I did a very good one, good wheel. I held it for 3 seconds and I came down, and then she said, okay, let's go into Shavasana, at which point I had an energetic inflow. Whoosh. And as she said, let's go into, I went, shh. Because when that vibration comes in, nothing else is meant to be there. Like I can't hear any more words, no sounds. It needs to be silence to allow that higher self, bring that sacred prayer, which is going to unlock something else. It brings in sacred prayer and codes. But before that happened, before I went into the sacred prayer and the codes came from me, I remember at one point, we'd done so many handstands, so many trying to get up and using one leg, and I was finding it tough. And at one point I looked at her and she was figuring out, how can I make this work for Sofia so that her mind, the limitation isn't in the mind, because sometimes the limitation is in the mind. I mean, because a few weeks ago when I did the handstand with her, I got up and it was easy, and I'm back here again. Where, okay, I haven't been practicing. My body didn't want to practice. There's a reason that it didn't want to practice, because it didn't want me to be that good. Because if I was that good, I wouldn't have received the message that I received from her today. So at one point, and I've been doing so many handstands, I looked at her and she looked me in the eye and I looked her in the eye, and there was nothing else but that moment. And she said, you know how to do this. You're just forgetting certain things, so just remember it. You know this. Just remember everything that I've taught you. And at that point, it was like this current timeline disappeared. And I just remembered that she's been in service to me for so many lifetimes, and this time I am going to remember. I felt emotional. I didn't show it to her. I just looked at her. My eyes filled with tears. I'm like, okay, do this. And it was almost as if nothing else existed apart from the handstand and the remembrance of the words that she had told me before, and the remembrance of, I know this. And I went straight up the way I was supposed to. And it felt easy. It was as if it was just happening by itself. And then we progressed to doing the wheel, at which point the information came. So I had that moment with her when I looked into her eyes, and I was humbled by, she's actually serving me. She's trying to say, remember, you know how to do this. And then I went into a very deep communication with my higher self. Ancient prayer came. When I say ancient prayer, these are very sacred words from the higher realms which I exist in, that need to be brought down here for the amalgamation of the kingdom of heaven on earth. So as I'm speaking the words, I have such authority when I speak as the mother, as the divine Sophia in my higher self. And I said, how you have served me over many, many lifetimes. I'm saying what I remember because it happened in the now, and I can't give you the power and what happened right then, but I can allow you to feel some of it. Because the moment was for her and me. So I said, how you have served me in many, many lifetimes. We have suffered, and they took away all that we knew. They stole from us. But I have everything back, and today you reminded me that I can now safely release this. It's you who has allowed me to release this. And then these codes came. They're all numbers. I can't tell you in which order, and I'm not going to try and repeat them. They are also very sacred. These codes came out in a very particular order and very fast. And then the ancient prayer. And then I said, I release all the abundance to all the children. I had to release it to her first because she is the goddess of abundance. So she has all the abundance. Even though in this lifetime, in her present journey, she is abundant, but not in a way that most people will associate abundance with. But that is coming, is with her now today. So that energy is with her now today. So I had to release it to her, and she is now distributing it to everybody else. the abundance throughout the world. So I want you to watch how your taxes are going to go completely. There will be no more income tax. There will be other benefits that are coming to every single one of you who are the children of light. So I was aware then that I was the egg goose that laid the golden eggs, and she was the one who distributed them. But that egg laying was blocked. But now it's all released. So, and it's released through the right avenue, to the right avenue, which is you. And it's interesting, I'm giving you an insight of how the mysteries work and how they have worked over many, many years. I'm giving you this insight. Before I wasn't allowed to give it to you because the other stuff I'm not allowed to tell you about, not all of it. But I know I'm supposed to tell you about the abundance codes. It's the energy of fire. It's the energy of the sun. The sun right now, because we've released it to the sun is now releasing it to you. All the abundance codes. Your life is good now. It's happening now. So the way this has all worked, you know, the mysteries work by putting me in certain places with certain people without me thinking. I'm not seeking these people actively. It happens. I didn't seek to have yoga lessons. I saw a client of mine who became a friend on my healing side of things as an ascended master, who'd come to me, and then I saw her pictures on Instagram, and she was doing incredible yoga poses. Something about the pose awoke something in me recognized it. And then that then led to what's happened today. And as I said, the last 3 days, I've been wanting to eat, and I felt so much joyful energy. But there was also something else that came into my life, tried to come into my field of energy. And that always happens when something big is about to happen, because they want to come into the field because they want to benefit or take, which they can't because they don't have the codes, and they're not who they see. The only people who can benefit from it, who have the power to distribute it, are the people who originally had the power. But there are others who think that they can take that again from the mother, which was taken before, but it's not happening again. So this other energy was trying to come in, and straight away I was very aware that what it was as a frequency, this person as a frequency wasn't and isn't going to be in my energy, but was trying. But then on the other scale, there was another energy that came into my life, which I recognized as an old soul from when I was in the temples in Egypt, and she had served as a high priestess to me. And in fact, it was super interesting when I met her, because when we enter each other's field of energy, the toroidal field that we are, all of us, we are entangled with each other, and the wisdom, the abundance unlocks. So she actually unlocked love. And it doesn't mean that she is the goddess of love. It means she unlocked love. There's certain people who can work alchemically without even knowing, by coming into contact with me because of who they were. And I don't like the word of who they were. It's who they are. It's who you are. But we were made to forget that part. So you think it's a were, but you are. So she released that because there's been a stuck energy with wise women being with wise men, because the wisdom again was chased out of the women, so they had to become stupid or behave stupid, and I mean that with such respect. And it's still kind of happening, but it's going to go now, where the women are behaving stupid and ditzy and girly and dolly, you know, and there's nothing wrong with being beautiful, but do not hide your wisdom. And this is what's been going on. The wisdom was taken away to the point where women thought they had to hide it because it's less attractive. But now it's back with a bang, baby. It's back with a beautiful, creative bang. Glory be, glory be. I'm going to stop there. Oh, I feel joyful. I feel a bit tired from the work that I've done today, but beautiful tired, you know, like incredibly beautiful tired. It's like having a baby and then going, oh! Anyway, the baby's being born, the golden eggs are released to you all. I know that in your souls, children of light, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Glory be and blessings to you all. Namaste, shalom, salam. Always in service to you as we are to each other.